welcome to the training course for Surface Hub. My name is Joe and I'll be your host for this session, which introduces Surface Hub apps designed for productivity and presentations. Work with data and content on a large screen using touch and ink. At the end of this chapter, you should be comfortable using the built-in Office apps to open and edit files and work with Edge to browse the web in typical design and review meetings. PowerPoint, Word, and Excel are installed on Surface Hub to work on presentations, documents, and spreadsheets, while PDF documents will open natively in Microsoft Edge. All of the apps installed on Surface Hub can be opened from the Start menu. We'll start by taking a look at PowerPoint, which is one of the most commonly used apps on Surface Hub because it's great for presenting content, annotating on slides, and sharing information in a dynamic way. Please see the Notes section for the complete training scenario. From the menu, let's select the template for a PowerPoint tour. This gives us some slides that we can work with. When working in apps on Surface Hubs, it's a good idea to use touch to select objects and press buttons, and use the pen when you want to draw or erase with ink. In this presentation, we're going to make a few changes before starting the slideshow. First, let's try adding a morph transition to one of our slides to make the content really shine. Morph is great for adding emphasis by moving or changing objects between two slides. Select Slide 2 from the list of slides on the left. Then touch and hold Slide 2 for 2 seconds to display a menu of options and select Duplicate. In the duplicated slide, let's change the size of one of the shapes on the right and move them next to each other. In the ribbon at the top of the screen, select Transitions and then the Morph transition. You can see what the morph will look like by selecting Preview in the ribbon. Nice. You can always move the object again if you don't like the result. Now for this presentation, we know that at the end, we're going to ask the audience if they have any comments or suggestions, and we want a way to capture that as part of our presentation. We could, of course, use the whiteboard like we saw in the last session, but we can also use PowerPoint to take notes during the presentation. Let's insert a slide, and we'll use the layout with just a title. Now that we have our slide, we just want to move it to the end of the slideshow. To move a slide, touch and hold to pick it up, then drag it to the bottom of the slide view. We need to give it a title so the audience knows what we're looking for, so let's double tap the title text box and type the word Suggestions.
So why did the keyboard just pop up?
Anytime you select a text entry box on a Surface Hub, the on-screen touch keyboard is displayed so you can enter text. On this keyboard, you can type by pressing the keys, but you can also change to a writing keyboard that lets you write words with pen or touch, and it will convert what you write into typed text. Feel free to use whichever text entry method you prefer. Touch anywhere on the screen to deselect the text box. Now we're ready to start the presentation. In the ribbon at the top of the screen, select Slideshow, then From the Beginning.
So it just went into full screen mode. Is there a way to pause or stop it if we need to?
Great question. Remember from our earlier session on navigation where we talked about switching into and out of full screen mode? If we want to keep presenting while we multitask, we can exit full screen by swiping in from the top or bottom of the screen and selecting the Exit Full Screen button. If we want to end the slideshow, you can tap at the top of the screen to display the PowerPoint options that include our ink colors and End Show. Now, we aren't ready to end the slideshow just yet, so let's use touch to advance through the slides by using one finger to swipe to the left to go forward. You can also swipe to the right to go back. If you swipe to slide 3, we can see the morph transition that we added to that slide. Swipe to the next slide that has some graphs on it. This slide might be a little hard to see at the back of the room, so we can zoom in to show the charts in more detail. Use 2 fingers to expand to zoom in on the slide and pinch to zoom out. Zoom all the way back out to advance to the next slide. On the next slide, we'll see an image and we can add notes by drawing right on the slide. Go ahead and use a pen to add a planet to the image. Now we can continue to the end of the slideshow where we have the slide that we added for suggestions. It's blank except for the title, but as we just saw, we can write on the slide and take notes. So, as the audience provides their suggestions, we can write them right on the slide.
And is there any way to save these annotations?
That would be nice, right? Well, when we advance to the end of the slideshow, PowerPoint is going to ask if we want to save or discard the ink annotations that we added during the show. In this case, we added ink on several slides and we want to save that ink with our presentation. If we were going to give this presentation several times and we wanted to revert back to our clean slides each time, we might add notes and then discard them at the end. Also keep in mind the PowerPoint file itself needs to be saved if you aren't signed in to Office 365 or OneDrive, since nothing gets saved permanently on the device at the end of your session. Besides saving online, you can also save to a USB drive.
So can we just save that one slide with suggestions on it? I need to keep a copy of it.
Well, we could take a screenshot from PowerPoint and add it to the whiteboard. That would give us an image of the slide that we could send from the Surface Hub. Let's go ahead and try that.
Okay.
Press the clip button at the top of PowerPoint and copy it over to the whiteboard. Draw a box around the slide to add it to the whiteboard.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. We can also send the whole PowerPoint file to you as an email attachment. Swipe over to the right to make PowerPoint full screen. And now on the right, select Share, and down at the bottom, select Send as Attachment. Remember how we sent the whiteboard as an email attachment in the last session?
Yeah.
Here we can create an email with the PowerPoint slideshow attached to it. Just enter the name and press Send.
Okay.
You'll get an email with the PowerPoint file attached as it looks right now. Next, we'll look at editing documents in Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word is a familiar app for creating and editing documents, letters, brochures, and contracts. Let's open Microsoft Word from the Start menu, and then we'll move the divider bar over to hide PowerPoint for now. In Word, we can open a document to view it and edit if necessary. We'll work on this document and we'll make some edits as we go. With the pen, we're able to draw, highlight, or redline the document using the tools on the Draw tab. Take the pen and use the highlighter tool to highlight some of the words on the page we may want to change. You can use the highlighter pen tool and draw with highlighter right in the document. Next, switch to red ink so we can cross out some of the lines we don't need to include.
So can we add notes to explain why we're recommending these changes anyway?
That's a great idea. Let's add a comment to the document that explains the changes. On the ribbon, select Review and then New Comment. Type or write a comment, then touch anywhere on the page to deselect the comment. When we save or send this document, the reviewer will be able to read our comments. We can also multitask in both Word and PowerPoint. If we have text that we've already created in a Word document and we want to use that text in our PowerPoint presentation, we can copy and paste content across apps. Double tap to select text in the Word document. Then select the Copy option in the menu. At the bottom of the screen, select Task View because we want to reopen PowerPoint, and right now it's minimized. In Task View, select PowerPoint to open it in split screen. Select the text box that should contain the text we copied from Word. Then select Paste from the menu. We could go back and forth using content from one app to update the content in another app. Finally, let's add our signature to the end of a document as a reviewer. Scroll to the end of the document and select the Draw tab and the black ink tool, then sign on the line. We'll send this document as an email attachment to the next reviewer. Select Share, then Send as Attachment. This will create an email with the Word document attached. And we're ready to move on and explore Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is the go-to app for financial planning and automating complex business formulas. Open Excel from the Start menu, and we'll drag the divider bar over to the left. Let's look at some of the ways we can use Excel with a touchscreen to add formulas and mark up a spreadsheet. Using the touch controls, we can quickly add content to our spreadsheet, like a formula, to add these cells together. On the Formulas worksheet, select the cell that should contain the total. Next, I'll press the Function button to display a list of the function categories. One of the functions is Sum. Select Sum and then select the first cell in the list of numbers here, and drag down to select the 4 quarters. The formula has been created. When we're ready to lock it in, select the check mark in the top right corner. In this spreadsheet, we have some charts, and we want to highlight some of the key points on the chart for our audience. We can zoom in on the spreadsheet using 2 fingers to expand and zoom in. Using the pen, select the Draw tab and pick a color. Then you can mark with ink right on the chart to call out where the important points are, or where we need to ask more questions. Excel is a great way to showcase important information in a way that people can understand very quickly. And with Surface Hub's large screen and ink experience, it's easy to keep people engaged in a meeting. The last app we're going to look at in this session is Microsoft Edge, a powerful web browser optimized for touch and ink capabilities of Surface Hub. If you haven't used Edge before, you'll find it works like most browsers on a PC or tablet. Use touch to select links and scroll through websites. Launch Microsoft Edge by opening the Start menu and selecting the Edge tile. In the browser, you can navigate to any website by typing an address in the URL address bar at the top. You can also perform a Bing search by entering a keyword or phrase. In this session, we're going to review a website and add some suggestions for how it might be improved. If we want to write on the web page, we don't have to take a screenshot and copy it to the whiteboard. We can turn on ink mode in Edge and draw right on the web page itself. In this case, we'll add some ink annotations to call out where we might make some minor changes to the layout of the site. When we're done, we can send a copy of the web page annotations to the marketing team so they can see our recommendations. Press the Share button to create an email with an image of the website attached. Enter the recipients for the email, and send the email straight from the Surface Hub. If your organization uses the web for applications like SharePoint or other apps, Edge can also be used to access that content as well, which makes it a great tool for project teams across the organization. Keep in mind that in order to access most internal company sites, you will probably need to log in with your credentials when first accessing the website. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in Chapter 6, Industry Apps and Office 365.